Buenos dias. Welcome to another beautiful morning here in Nepal. We've got an interesting one for you today. We're in a little town called Panauti, which is off the typical tourist trail, about 30 kilometers outside of Kathmandu. And today, we're going to show you this amazing city. So we're starting our morning out here in the farmland. This is where our hotel is. Well, actually, shall we say, guest house. It seems to be that in Panauti, because it's way off the tourist trail, that there are very, very limited options here in terms of accommodation, restaurants, coffee shops, all things of that nature. And so currently where we're staying is actually with a family. They rent out a room in their house, and we're only paying £6 a night, so it's incredible value. But we're going to make our way through this little area into the city, or into the town, shall I say, and then we're going to eventually make our way over to the old part of the city where you can find the temples. Before we make our way over to the ancient part of the town, you do have a little bit of an eyesore in this monstrous bus terminal. It's dusty, it's noisy, it's chaotic, but we will eventually make our way over into the ancient part, which is very, very relaxed. So you're going to see the strong contrast. Right now though, we're trying to find coffee. Need that morning medicine, but options are few and far between. I did see something on Google. Whether it's still open, whether it still exists as a business, and even whether it's any good. These are all questions I don't have the answer to, but hoping to find out now. We're crossing the bridge. And you see the water's free flowing, but as with many places in Nepal, it's seen better days, shall we say. There's a sign for coffee in the window, so are you sure it's not this one? Xiomara's is not here yet, but I've got a masala omelette. So obviously an omelette, it's egg, it looks like it's got some capsicum, some onion in there, maybe some carrot, and I've got a delicious coffee. So actually very surprising, the coffee's good, isn't it?
The coffee is really good. Like, they don't have like a proper coffee machine, but they have like a machine, the one that you actually press a button and it comes automatically. So this coffee is the best coffee around here, because we have been trying to get a good coffee shop, but they don't have the machine, so they only mix the milk with the coffee. So this one, for real, is the best coffee around the area so far.
So far.
So far.
Full flavour, there's some spice, some saltiness to it. It's cooked perfectly, it's not dry. Really good. Xiomara's has arrived. She's ordered the egg sandwich. Wow, that's a proper sandwich, and she's got French fries with it as well. And get this.
Right, so now we are crossing this beautiful bridge. It's a really nice bridge. When you cross it, you can feel all the floor vibrating and shaking. And also we have an amazing view. We can see lots of dogs, beautiful birds. And then once we finish crossing this bridge, we are going to go into the oldest part of this town. So yeah, I'm very excited to show you what's going on around here.
Hello? How are you? How are you? I'm the dog whisperer, aren't I? How are you? Don't jump up on me now, because you're dirty. No!
Don't talk to me. I'm seeing your
No. All right, time to go. The dogs here get very excited. As soon as you give them a few tickles, they start jumping up on you, and sometimes they get overly excited and start jumping up on you. Walking through now into the old heritage part of Panauti, and you'll see similarities with Bhaktapur. These beautiful Nawari buildings with the wooden carvings, and this looks like something similar to the chariot that you see in Bhaktapur, a little bit smaller, but I believe that that is one of the festivals that they have here, like a chariot festival. This town is known as the town of 40 temples and 28 festivals. Right, so we're making our way through the streets of Old Town Panauti, and we've got this noisy little fella here making a right racket. As you come through, you'll see the old Nawari architecture, the wooden carvings, and all these windows, well, lack of windows, shall I say. The spaces here where people look out, they're shutters, but there's no glass. So it must be very, very cold here sometimes, because yeah, very few of these places actually have glass. Hello, how are you? Me and Xiomara was saying this kind of reminds us of Spain a little bit, being down those little alleyways in Barcelona or Madrid. Obviously it's different architecture, I'm not saying it's the same, but the feel is very heritage, you know, very traditional. It's really nice. What you will see as you're walking around is a lot of the buildings they're old and they're damaged. I would imagine these heritage style buildings with a lot of the wood carvings and just the actual style and the way that they're built, probably very difficult and very expensive to maintain. So over the generations, as this town has kind of fallen economically, you see that it's not as well preserved or maintained as the likes of Bhaktapur, but it gives it a nice charm. As you see, like, no glass. And there's an awful lot of bird poo up there. It must be where the birds hang out. Super peaceful, isn't it? Way calmer than it is in Bhaktapur and Kathmandu. You've got all these birds. You do have to be careful when you're looking up, because Xiomara nearly got an ice cream surprise yesterday, didn't you?
Oh my god, that was so scary, because we were in a corner and then we saw that something kind of fell. So we looked at it, we looked up, and then we realized that there were a few pigeons in there.
It was a big soppy bird poo, wasn't it?
I was like, oh my god, we were so lucky. It was like this close, but it didn't happen. So.
One of the wonderful things of coming to Panauti is just wandering the streets. You know, you see these travel videos, these travel vlogs and guides where they give you the top 10 things to do, but I really feel personally, for me, that one of the best things you can do when you travel is just walk and explore the streets. You know, you go to England, you're not going to feel the culture of a place by visiting the Man United Stadium. You're not going to feel the history of a society by going to visit Big Ben. You're going to really get to know the place better by walking the streets and speaking with normal people. And Panauti and anywhere else in Nepal or anywhere else in the world for that matter is exactly the same. This is an incredible place to just walk and taste the normal daily life. You don't really get that as much in Kathmandu, because obviously everything's so busy and it's so commercialized and it's so normal for tourists to be there, whereas this is very raw, very, very raw. Not many tourists here. In fact, we've been here for 2 days now and not seen a single other foreigner. Now, this is the gate to come into this old part of the city, and one thing that's wonderful for here, unlike Bhaktapur, there's no admission fee. So you can come in if you're not staying in Panauti. You can just walk around and explore. There's no costs involved. You don't need a guide. You don't need a permit. You don't need to pay any fees. The only place that you will need to pay a fee is an entrance fee to one of the temples. But aside from that, to actually be in the area, there are no costs. I think it's so much fun just kind of wandering the streets and just walking around and exploring. I don't think sometimes you actually need a destination, do you, or a specific place, a tourist attraction. Sometimes it's nice just to actually walk and just go and find things, isn't it?
It's nice because like you kind of get the taste and you see people's normal life, and it's nice. This place is particularly nice because it's very calm and there is not much traffic. You can feel free walking around without feeling like, oh, I need to be alert. Maybe a motorbike or a car is going to run me over. It's just, you just walk, you just sit around. It's kind, it's peaceful. People is nice. They are not trying to sell you things or trying to sell you drugs or anything. It's just very, very slow lifestyle.
One stroke. You come here. Monkey. Oh, you're friendly now, aren't you? Oh, you like that? Yeah. You got a bit of a smile there. I know you're enjoying it. You street dogs. You pretend you don't like affection, but you really do. Now, one of the things that Panauti is very revered for are its religious sites. And here, we've got two rivers. We have this river here and another river over here. And they converge. Every 12 years, they actually hold a very, very important festival where Hindus come and they bathe in the river. And what you'll see here as well, this is where people come when they pass on and to be cremated. So we've got some sites here and one on the other side. I believe that each side of the river will be dependent upon whether you're a Hindu or whether you're an ethnic Nawari. I'm not sure on the exact reason, but here on the banks of the rivers, you'll find a temple complex. And this holds an unusual accolade as being one of the only temple complexes in Nepal that hasn't been destroyed in an earthquake. But you do see that there's a lot of wear. These are some of the oldest temples in all of Nepal. I believe some of them going back 800 or so years. Very, very old.
I've been making good contacts in this town. So we have here our friend who's been offering me ganja.
He's got the highest quality product here in Panauti.
He has a nice vape, and he's been smoking here with me. No, with me. I haven't been smoking, but he's been smoking.
You got something to tell me whilst I've been out walking, exploring?
No. There was like this.
Presume that's wild marijuana.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
There was an old lady who came also, and then I said, "Do you also smoke?" She said, "No." I said, "Only him," and she said, "Yes."
Well-known character around here.
I've been speaking with him before, but the little English that we could kind of communicate with each other. Yeah. And then he said that he lives there. That's his home.
Oh, in here?
He lives there.
In this one? You live in this one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I asked, "You have electricity?" And he said, "Yes, water, yes." So he has everything in there.
Okay. So to live in there, you have to pay money?
Yes.
You have to pay money to live there?
None.
No, you live for free. So this reminds me of the story that I was actually reading this morning about this place and why this is important for Hindus and why they come to bathe in the water. So the story goes like this. There was a sage who lived here on the banks of the river where the two converge, and he lived with his wife. Now Indra, who was the king of the gods, he was attracted to the sage's wife and decided that he was going to seduce her. And the way he was going to do that was he transformed himself to look like the sage. And so he seduced the wife of the sage, had his relations with her, and when the sage found out, he cast a spell on him. And he basically covered him in female genitalia. Now after many years, Shiva decided that he had atoned for his sins and allowed him to bathe in the river, and when he bathed, the female genitalia washed away. So now Hindus see this as a place where you can come and wash away your sins. And so every 12 years there's a huge festival here where people gather, and as you can see, there are steps on the ghat over here and over here, so where people come and bathe and wash away their sins. Oh, I see. You brought your pipe out now, so now you do the okay.
we going to
He's brought his drum out. He's got his pipe and he's ready to have a party now. He just needs some vodka and he's all good.
Y aquí tenemos a nuestro lama directamente fumando.
Smells very strong. Ooh, strong, eh? It's strong, that boy. Yeah.
Right. That was a little bit too much.
Right.
Bit strong for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm going to title this video The Party Man of Panauti. Our guy here has just sacrificed himself and got very, very high for the sake of a few photos and videos, but I suspect that he does this every day. Okay, we go now.
Say. Say. Hello. Hello.
He got it.
Like, say, welcome. Welcome
Yeah.
to the Wonder Life.
Yeah, you've got no
Welcome.
chance.
To the Wonder Life.
Yes.
Yes. See you guys later. Have a nice day. Quite the character. He was, enjoys being a bit of a showman. We gave him some money. We saw him actually yesterday as well on the banks of the river, so I think that's how he knows who we are. I gave him some money yesterday. But today, very entertaining guy. Doesn't speak much English, but that's to be expected. But as you see, as I'm talking about, you see lots of fires here, over here, down in the corner. This is a ceremonial place for the cremations. And once you've been cremated, your ashes will then be scattered into the river. Sorry.
It's okay, mi amor. Like yesterday, we came here and we saw like a body being cremated. So the ashes that you can see over there, that's the ashes from the body. And it was very shocking because we have ever seen something like that. But yeah, it was special. We've been speaking with the guy, and then he said that he won't be cremated. That's only for Hindus. But yeah, this is basically the cremation area and this sacred river for Hindus. It's for Hindus, right?
He's terrified. Definitely doesn't like you, does he?
No?
Never.
Let's be friends. I wanna be your friend.
We found this little puppy and the poor thing was like shaking like a leaf. So scared. It's okay. Not gonna hurt you. He's enjoying that though, aren't you? Oh. As I was telling you before, the banks of this river are used as a cremation spot, and over on here what you can see, or can't see because I'm not going to get any closer out of respect, but there's a person over there who's having all the ceremonies completed and the rituals, all the various bits that they do basically in preparation for the cremation. So they'll be commencing that cremation over there. I don't know whether today or tomorrow, but it seems that this place is very, very busy for it. And actually one of the stipulations, or at least one of the guidelines of that, is that you should be cremated within 24 hours, because it's believed that you should be returned to the 5 elements, and the quickest way to do that is by cremation rather than burial, which is why they get cremated. But it's actually quite an expensive process because of course you've got to buy an enormous amount of wood, and it's a certain type of wood which is best. I think to actually buy all of the wood it can cost up to like $500, so it can be quite an expensive process. So I'm not sure whether everyone is able to be cremated. I'm not sure what happens with the other people, but yeah, a very, very interesting place. Hello, you want some as well, do you? I've got competition here. They both want the strokes. As we're strolling the streets, you see that there's loads of schools in Panauti, but they're all quite small, like tend to be on these like high tiers. So it must be an unusual setup in the classrooms, especially compared to obviously where we're from. You know, in England, the schools look very different. But yeah, there's loads of little small schools, and it kind of makes sense, I suppose. If you pay to go to school, it's almost like perhaps a business. Maybe private people can set up a school and charge parents. I don't know. Not sure how it works, but yeah, lots of schools, which is great to see. It's nice to see all of the kids having an opportunity for education, or at least many of them, because it will be education that will drive forward countries like this. Of course, you always need people working in agriculture and things, but you need people to get an education, and you need people to stay in this country with that education and help drive this country forward. Part of the problem with Nepal is that many people get their education on leave. Okay folks, we've just been and got some delicious pakodas, some nice street food here, very tasty and very affordable. What?
Look at this big hair. Oh my god, look at that.
Very tasty, very affordable, and
very hairy.
when they say the locals really put their heart and soul in it, they really meant their hair and soul into it. So we're gonna finish the video here. Hopefully we gave you at least a little bit of a taste of Panauti. My thoughts and feelings are that this is a great place to come. It doesn't have the amenities or the services on offer that the likes of Bhaktapur or Kathmandu have, but for a more authentic experience to come out of that city, it's only 30 kilometers away. You can get here from Kathmandu in a taxi or a bus within a couple of hours. So I really like it here. It's much more normal. The history is ever present, and it feels very rugged. You know, like I say, it doesn't feel like it has that level of manicuring that Bhaktapur has. That's sad in a way, because there is a bit of decay here, but again, it's very authentic. What do you think?
I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful place. We have beautiful views. It's very rural. It's very raw. There is plenty of temples. The people is very friendly. There is no harassment. There is no traffic, so it's a really nice place.
Yeah.
So I think that it should be a mandatory stop for everyone, at least for a day. And as we were saying, it's super cheap, it's very easy to come here, and the accommodation is super cheap as well. We are like paying £6 per night, so it's completely worth it. I think that you should try it if you come to Nepal at some point. And then I think that with that, that's all what we have to say.
That's all I had to say about that. We watched Forrest Gump the other night now, and I think Xiomara's got it in her brain. Also, we'll probably leave it here, and between me and you, we'll share it with Xiomara in the next video that she's got food in her teeth.
Do I have? Yeah. Okay, thank you for letting me know.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Hopefully Xiomara brushes her teeth. Ciao.